HCAM TV thanks you for watching this presentation. We'd love for you to become a member and use your creativity at our station. Please visit hinghammedia.org or call us at 781-836-5094 if you would like to learn more.
Hingham, a town of great history, heritage, and heart. Coming up on today's episode of Hingham Happenings, the new and improved Hingham Heritage Museum is reopened. Father Bill's and Mainspring host their 23rd annual Food Fest fundraiser in the Hingham Shipyard. The Statuette Concert Band performs their annual summer concert at the Glastonbury Abbey. South Shore Conservatory continues its Evening Under the Stars series with the music of Billy Joel. New North Church hires an expert to disassemble and restore their clock. All of this and more coming up on Hingham Happenings. Hello, and welcome to our September episode of Hingham Happenings. I'm your host, Stacy Circusoon. Some quick local announcements. According to niche.com, Hingham School District ranks among 30 of all the state. Numerous factors were used to produce this ranking, such as test data and college data. The World's End celebrates its 50th anniversary. Come dine under the stars and check out this treasured landscape in Hingham on September 9th. Proceeds from this event will support landscape restoration, carriage road improvements, and new tree planting. The annual summer sidewalk sale was held on the last week of July. The sale featured local stores in Hingham and all their great bargains.
So we have an annual sidewalk sale, and it's always the last weekend in July, and our customers really look forward to this event. We have a lot of markdowns on items. I am the owner of Petite Maison. We are a home accessories, fine linens, and gift store. Been in the square for 19 years. It's a group collaborative with the Hingham Downtown, so I know we did a lot on social media. I personally did a lot on social media as well. So if you're a member of the Hingham Downtown Association, then you can participate in the sidewalk sales. So it's a great organization to be part of. It promotes the downtown, and it's a great thing for the community. I think it's a fun thing to do during the summer, and I really look forward to it.
We start our show off today with the reopening of the Hingham Heritage Museum, also known as the Old Derby Academy. The process of the restoration started in 2008, and after all that hard work, it's finally open to the public. The Hingham Heritage Museum has added archives along with historical artifacts and even a living history section. Take a visit and learn more about the great town of Hingham.
This is a great event to celebrate the soft opening of the Hingham Heritage Museum. The building is fundamentally complete, so we thought it would be an opportunity to do two things. One is to welcome members of the community, open to the public and so forth, and also to celebrate the generous contributions of the project management team.
This is the culmination of many years worth of work by a lot of people. Back in 2008, we began talking about this building, Old Derby Academy, and what it meant to the Historical Society. And it was a revenue generator for the society. And it was not in disrepair, but it had not had attention in many, many years.
We have built this entire end of the building so that we can have our collections and our textiles and our archives stored and installed properly. This is a work in progress on the installations, but we wanted to celebrate the people who who really brought this to fruition. It was built in 1818 as a result of work by local woman Sarah Derby. She wanted there to be really strong educational opportunities in the town. In 1818, boys and girls both came to this school, and they were taught separately, and they had separate entrances, but it was a co-educational institution, and they were taught.
We have really two components, I think. One is the archival component, where we have archives filled with Hingham artifacts, which we exhibit from time to time. And the second is the living history component, which we honor through the annual house tour.
Our first step in 2013 was to design and build the staircase on Main Street. The only way to get in the building was to walk up the driveway. The old staircase had been buried because it was a hazard. When the staircase was done and we began raising money, people now were paying attention to what the Historical Society was doing with the old Derby Academy.
Big challenges were how do we maximize our parking for a facility like this and still get our ADA, our handicap parking in. Grading was a real challenge because we're on a hillside, so the parking lot itself had to be at a really minimal grade. Working on the ramp and working on the steps going into the building, those all had to be manageable.
With a building like this, probably the most difficult thing is not, there are unknowns. The building was built into a hillside, so you don't know if there's going to be rot. So we sort of designed the steps first and got that sort of set. And then we designed the addition to the building. And it was really where you meld those two buildings that is probably the biggest challenge.
There will be a show on the other side of the building, and it's on toys, buckets, and furnishings that were built by the bucket makers in Hingham. And we have some Please Touch, we have some interactives, we have some videos. It'll be lots of fun. That should be opening in a couple of weeks, and it's just a temporary thing now.
All over the world, Hingham is known as Bucket Town due to the massive export of buckets that were built by the 5 founding families here. They had the Wilders, the Burr buckets, Lane buckets, Tower buckets, and of course the Hersey buckets.
And then this gallery will be installed. We have a desk and bookcase that was given by a local family, the Gay family. And then there will be we have a lot of really important paintings and things. Those will all be installed. The archives will be installed upstairs, along with the textile collections.
Hingham has just an incredible history. And I think for a place like this to be able to continue educating our children and just be able to know, bring people here to learn all the history that has happened.
Hingham is an oasis of fertile ideas. So having people come together to agree, concur on what ought to be done was a particularly engaging challenge, but I think it also brought more plurality to the endeavor.
All that history sure made me hungry. Let's channel our hunger to the fight against homelessness. Father Bill's in Mainspring hosted their 23rd annual Food Fest fundraiser at the Hingham Shipyard. Food Fest gives you a taste of the 40 best restaurants in Hingham and surrounding towns. It included a variety of our favorites, from Wahlburgers to Mary Lou's Coffee and even Galley Kitchen and Bar. Thousands of people showed up to support this great cause. All proceeds from this fundraiser went towards the fight against homelessness. Are you ready to make a difference?
This is the 23rd annual Food Fest for Father Bill's in Mainspring. It's our premier fundraiser to raise funds for our fabulous organization. Father Bill's in Mainspring supports many, many homeless shelters.
The Food Fest was actually established by Father Bill McCarthy, one of our founders, and it's a fundraiser to make up the gap of public funding. It brings the 40 best organizations that take the night off in their restaurant and do an in-kind contributions.
My favorite part is the restaurants, and so many people come here year after year to enjoy the environment here in Hingham Shipyard as well as the fabulous food.
We start planning about 6 to 8 months ahead of time. Many of these restaurants and corporate sponsors have been with us for decades, and just we're very blessed with that kind of support. And we're very blessed with the weather, as you can see, of having an outside event. But we would never make it happen without all the support that we get from the South Shore community.
We've been committed to Father Bill's Mainspring for many, many years, and we have a golf tournament that we raise funds toward this event, and we raise money all the way throughout the year. A portion of many of our sales go towards supporting Father Bill's and Mainspring, so it's very much part of our company at Jack Conway. We agree that no one should be homeless, so we help people find homes, and it's a perfect fit for us to help people find their first step. I have tried a little bit of the food. It's absolutely delicious. And great stores, restaurants all over South Shore are coming down here with great food.
We're out this morning gathering razor clams in Duxbury Harbour with my good friend Greg Morris, who works for Island Creek. He's got his own oyster farm, Two Rock Farms, so he was gathering the razor clams for us. We bring them back here, we make a quick ceviche of them, and we serve them in front of you. We've got shepherd's pie, which comes from the Tinker's Son in Norwell. That's a combination of braised short ribs, braised lamb shank, and ground beef with like a Guinness gravy, topped with mashed potatoes and cheddar cheese. And then we've got the razor clam ceviche, which is Duxbury razor clams, ceviche style, so a little bit of pepper, cilantro, lime, and agave.
We're serving our fresh-made small batch ices and sorbets that we manufacture in Kingston, and we sell wherever we can be. We're a mobile unit. Oh my gosh, the people are so amazing, and the support that we're getting for our brand new business has been fantastic. We really appreciate that, and the chance to give to the community.
This is an important event for the South Shore. We have so much to be grateful for living here on the South Shore. It's our obligation to help the people that need a little help, no matter what the reason is that they found themselves homeless. We are here to help people, help our neighbor, and Father Bill's Mainspring helps us to do that because, you know, they make us aware of what the needs are and help us funnel our energies and our financial support. So Father Bill's and Mainspring need all of our support. We need to open up our arms and our wallets to help them with their goals and their projects.
Harbor One is about supporting the communities where we live and work. And Father Bill's and Mainspring is on the front lines doing really important work, whether it's shelter or finding a solution to homelessness. You know, they're doing incredible work, innovative, and we're about that. We are happy to support those efforts. Harbor One Bank has been involved with Father Bill's for probably over a decade, serving meals during evening hours, working with their Work Express program, supporting their efforts to build affordable housing and shelter in Brockton, in Weymouth, and Wareham, and other places.
It's a fun event. At the same time, 87 cents to every dollar that Father Bill's and Mainspring raises goes right to the people in our communities that are at risk of homelessness or experiencing homelessness.
We help over 5,000 individuals. We have 500 units of supportive housing. We help homeless people get back on their feet to get meaningful work and also places to live.
I love this event because it brings people together, and food is an amazing way to share passion for supporting others. And think of your own home around the table and people gathering, and I think exemplifies the work of Father Bill's and Mainspring.
I just would like to say thank you to everybody, as we know that our mission can be hard of ending homelessness one life at a time, and we're just very blessed with all the support that we get in our community.
Looks like everyone was well fed. Now let's sit down, relax, and enjoy some music. The Petite Marching Band returns to the Glastonbury Abbey for its 87th season. The band consists of people of all ages, from people that are still in high school to people that have been out of college for some time. The outdoor concerts featured everything from Broadway, Latin, and even some jazz. Let's have a listen.
Well, the Petite Band comes here, I think, just about every summer and for a performance, and we usually have a full lawn by this time, but it's slowly filling up because it's It's kind of a cool night. So a lot of our regular people and some people that we don't know show up for this concert every year. So it's a great event.
Well, the concert tonight is with the Petite Concert Band, and this is our 87th season. And during a season, we normally play someplace in the neighborhood to 12 to 15 concerts. So this is actually our 5th concert of the season. We play at Nantasket Beach, we play down in Scituate Harbor, we play at St. Mary's Church in downtown Scituate, and we played in the Hingham Parade. Rockland Public Library is another one. So we're doing a lot of concerts during the course of the summer. As you'll see when you watch the concerts, we have students that are as young as 8th grade, and we have students that are still in high school. We have college students, and we have students that have been out of college for a couple, 3 years, and then adults that have been out of college for quite a while. One of our members, believe it or not, this is his 57th season playing in the band. So we have quite the age spectrum, which is very good because you get the old players that get that great energy of youth, and the youth get that experience that the older members of the band bring to them. So it's a good mix of people.
People love outdoor concerts in the summertime, and ordinarily you'd see lots of blankets and bottles of wine and, people enjoying this summer evening. So it's a great community event to bring people out for an evening, and I wish it were a little bit warmer so more people would come out, but they're slowly coming.
We play everything from old marches, John Philip Sousa, that kind of your traditional march. We play Broadway show things. So tonight you're going to hear West Side Story, for example. We play some old overtures that have been written a long time ago. We play original compositions for band. We play things that are like a Latin piece of music or different kinds of marches in different styles, a lot of jazz and big band. We're going to play a Dave Brubeck piece tonight that consists of Take 5 and Blue Rondo a la Turk, which are two things that people tend to know.
We, being a monastery, we're kind of set apart, but we want people to come in and enjoy the grounds and take part in the life of the monastery. And this is another way of sharing the monastery with people. We're happy to have them.
I've been involved with this group since 2009. As personnel manager, I just kind of take a head count of who's where, make sure all the parts are covered, and general babysitter, I guess you would call it, for lack of a better term. But I enjoy it very much. I get to know everybody on a better level.
I was a high school band director for 30 years, and the last 25 was in Braintree. Prior to that in Hingham, and prior to that in Florida. I'm from Cocoa Beach, Florida, actually. So I taught in Florida before I moved up here. And I've been conducting this group, I think this is my 6th year as the music director, and was the assistant conductor and first trumpet player for many years prior to that.
We advertise it on our webpage. We have a bulletin that we print out every Sunday. It was advertised in that. So we got a good crowd here on Sunday that come to Mass here. And then there's been a sign on our front lawn for the past, week and a half or so. Well, people driving by would see that they're coming. And I don't know if there's anything in the newspaper or not, but I think they usually put something in the Hingham Journal or the Patriot Ledger to advertise that they're going to be here. And it seems like a lot of these people have friends and relatives that come too, that kind of come to their concerts.
It's a great free concert, so every age level has something that they can appreciate. They don't mind if they're dancing out in the street or something like that. That's absolutely fine with us. We're just here to play and hope everybody enjoys it.
I think the music, I'm sure that's the main reason they're coming, but also to see the Abbey too. And I'm just happy to be part of this and to be able to be the host here for the group tonight, yeah.
Concerts are so summer. Another band that came around this summer was John Abrams and his Billy Joel tribute band. The band recently performed music at the South Shore Conservatory for Evenings Under the Stars. They featured songs from the last 40 years of Billy Joel's career, playing at least one classic hit from each of his albums. The band was also joined by Joel's original guitarist, David Brown. Many people came out to listen to the sounds of Billy Joel.
Well, I believe Evenings Under the Stars is more than 20 years old at this point. And it came about because we built this wonderful amphitheater for students to learn to perform in. There are summer workshops going on here all summer for our students, and we realized it was a great opportunity to offer performances. Performance is integral to music. And what's going on here tonight is the third concert in our Evenings Under the Stars summer concert series. It's a 4-week series, so there's one more week to go. You know, by all means come next week if you haven't made it so far. And these outdoor concerts bring music to our South Shore community in a very accessible way. And what's better than music under the stars?
It's funny, we've had a couple of names over the years. When we first started in 2006, we were called simply The Strangers. After that, when I was in the Broadway show, I decided to name the band a little bit after myself. So we were John Abrams and the Strangers, just for marketing reasons. And now we're simply John Abrams and his Billy Joel tribute.
He plays the fabulous music of Billy Joel, and Billy Joel is one of America's iconic musicians. I think we all know some of his songs. We hum along, we know the lyrics, and he's a great performer, and he has ties here to Hingham and to the Conservatory.
Billy's career is something that spans 35, 40 years, so it's impossible to sort of hit everything, but we try. We have pretty much at least a song, I think, from every album that he's done. We focus a lot on the big crowd pleaser songs. In a lot of ways, we base what we do off of what Billy does live. We figure it works well for him. And a lot of the songs that we play are songs that people have known for a long time. They're fun for us to play. And I love looking out and seeing people sing along. Last year, we played at the Duxbury campus. That was a really fun show. We were inside in a rather closed, confined area, but it was great because there were tables and it was very, very full. Big band for a small space. So one of the attendees decided that this would be a good show to bring here, and so here we are.
Well, I've had the opportunity to perform here several times as a member of choral groups and as a conductor and things like that. And what I really like about it is that acoustically, as a performer, it really works very well inside the space. And then it also sends the sound out very, very nicely. And so it's a pretty special place for outdoor performances. And so even in the last 2 nights, there was a jazz performance on Thursday night, there was a concert band on last night, and everybody loves it here.
Billy has a residency at Madison Square Garden, which is odd. Nobody's ever done that before. Billy and his band are sort of a house band there. And the way that Billy makes it is it's this huge venue that feels very, very intimate. In a lot of ways, I think that's what we're able to have here at the South Shore Conservatory. And when we get to look up in this beautiful summer night, yes, they're big songs and it's a powerful sound, but it's also very intimate and it's something that we can all share and be happy with at the end of the night.
You will see everyone from small children to grandparents in the audience tonight. That in itself, to bring the ages together, is great. I also always love the first concert of the series will include the 1812 Overture. And we have a full gun salute. Now, who shoots those guns? Our security guards. So, you know, there's a little something here for everybody.
The best part is that this audience is not the classical music audience. It's not the jazz audience. It's not the rock audience or blues audience. It's another whole audience. And that's what the South Shore Conservatory does so well, is it reaches out to a broad base of this community and also the South Shore.
So he sits at the piano and he'll play the finished product. And whatever that music says to him is what he writes about.
He's got wonderful lyrics, and chances are if you hum to his songs, the words will be in your brain too, like Uptown Girl or It's Still Just Rock and Roll.
I've always had an affection for his music, and I think it's also, for this audience, is something that they're going to really come to appreciate.
I hope they're singing songs on the way home. I hope that they go home and they're happy that they came. We seek to deliver a show in the way that Billy would have done it when he was my age, which is I'm in my early 30s, and our show is as energetic as we possibly can make it. So I think I want people to have trouble falling asleep tonight. That's what I want.
Thank you very much, everybody.
40 years is quite a career. Speaking of time, let's watch a real pro restore a clock. After many years of not ticking, the clock at New North Church Parish was taken apart piece by piece by clock restorer Ross Hochstrasser. This is the first out of 4 clocks in Hingham to get restored. The clocks have been around for so many years and are such a part of our historical community. The Hingham Historical Society are excited to have them back, working and in good condition.
What's going on is that this is the first of 4 clocks, tower clocks, that are going to be restored to working order in town. And the gentleman upstairs, Ross Hochstrasser, is a tower clock expert.
Today we're going to be disassembling the E. Howard weight-driven tower clock that's up in the steeple for the purpose of doing a complete restoration on it.
We host the clock, but we have not maintained it over the years. The town has done that, and it was a civic project that came out of committees and the people at Town Hall than the church. We're happy to have it done, but this is more of a town-wide effort, I think.
There was a lot of preparation involved. The idea for this project started over a year ago with the gentleman, Kevin Rowe, who winds the clocks. He had the idea that perhaps we can get this going again and asked for money from the Community Preservation Committee. The Historical Commission took on the responsibility of doing some additional research, and Kevin's project is alive and well. And this year, thanks to the support of the Community Preservation Committee and the selectmen, in particular Paul Healey, who was a great advocate for getting these clocks running again.
My husband, as chair of the board, was able to promote the article for the town, and Andrea was on board, and we also had clocks repaired by Ross, who is upstairs right now repairing this one. My husband loves clocks, so he was very familiar with Ross's work and how wonderful it was. So it was just a very human aspect to all of this, because time in a community seems to go so fast, but if you can just slow it down with the ticking of a clock, it would be nice.
The actual time-keeping mechanism that this clock uses has probably been in use for maybe close to 1,000 years. You know, it's very basic, very simple. It's big and heavy, but it's pretty basic. And if you bought a modern, say, grandfather clock today, the mechanism in it works exactly the same as this one.
Ross is going to dismantle the clock, taking the parts necessary and taking them back to his shop. He will work on them there, and whenever he's done, he will be back and restore the parts into the clock. The clock itself, it doesn't look typically like we expect a clock to look. It is more of a machine. It's with very intricate parts. He won't take the big frame, but he will take the parts that need to be restored.
Well, we're going to let the weights down to the lowest possible level and disconnect the cables, and then just start unscrewing bushings, taking bushings out, taking gears out, until we have it broken down into its finest component parts.
The other thing that's going to take place is that he will need to remove the hands of the clock. He will need a bucket truck to do that, so he's going to be climbing up there in the truck and removing the hands on all 4 sides.
It's going to be pretty warm up there. Fortunately, we don't have the sun beating down on the roof, cooking us up there today, so it won't be as bad as it could be. But it's like disassembling a very heavy egg. You have to be very careful that you don't break it or scratch it or break any teeth off any gears. Whoa! Yet at the same time, it's heavy stuff and it's tough to move.
This clock is so important. The building is so iconic in the town. It's going to be a real pleasure to see this working again and tolling the time.
When a clock rings and when it chimes, it draws the whole community together just by listening to it.
When it's working, people really notice it, and I think it lends a definite ambiance to the town. This is a very historic town, and it lends to that feeling of ages gone by, but yet it tells the accurate time. People can look up and see it if they wish to. They'll be able to hear it if they can't see it. And I think there's also, for me personally, I think there is a comfort in hearing the regular chiming of a clock. I think it indicates stability, and I think for this building, it will show that this is a vibrant community. It's a vibrant building, and it really needs to be recognized in the town.
Timeless. Well, that's all for this month. Tune in next time for another exciting episode of Hingham Happenings. If you have any suggestions for a future episode, please email us at hinghamhappenings@hinghammedia.org. Thanks so much for watching.